So, Kentucky is headed to Thompson Boling Arena to face the Lady Volunteers. I am going to love this. I lived in Louisville for a while, had to deal with a lot of Kentucky fans, and honestly, most Kentucky fans I actually enjoy. When I went to a Tennessee Kentucky game in Lexington, though, I don't mind passion, but some of the comments. My mother was there beside me because I was taking her to the game. My mother had never been to a Tennessee game. Some of the comments by the folks that were tailgating were kind of annoying. Actually, they were beyond annoying. They were kind of disheartening because if I was tailgating for a University of Tennessee game at either Thompson Bowling Arena or at Neyland Stadium, I wouldn't make those comments to a Kentucky fan. I might have fun with them, but I wouldn't make the kind of comments that were said in front of my mother. But you know what? I don't have a problem with the Kentucky fans that I actually met inside of Kentucky's stadium. We had a lot of Kentucky fans around us. We weren't seated. I just bought tickets. I didn't know where Tennessee fans sat. I didn't know where Kentucky fans sat. I just bought tickets. I was taking my mother to the Tennessee Kentucky game. That's all I cared about. The Kentucky fans inside, though, oh, they were amazing to deal with. I love dealing with some of them Kentucky fans inside the stadium. Just the tailgaters were a little ugh. But that being said, I still love the rivalry between Tennessee and Kentucky. And this Tennessee team, Kim Caldwell is working to get the team the way she wants them to be. She is. It's not going to be an easy thing. Plus, when you're at this high level, you've got to get the right athletes. You've got to have, and that takes money nowadays. It takes a lot of money nowadays. All the stuff that happened back in the day behind closed doors, well, now it's out front and in the open thing. Now, I know for a fact that Pat Head Summit didn't do those things, so mostly because she got upset when other coaches did that or allowed it to happen. Now, I'm not saying that there wasn't money exchange, but I know that she didn't tolerate that. But it makes it kind of difficult to get the right players at the right time. But hey, Tennessee's been doing amazing things. Kentucky, the Lady Wildcats have been really amazing this season. Uh, yeah, they've lost a couple of games, but one of them's to Maryland, who's a really good team, and the other ones they went to Alabama, and some team it happens sometimes. I don't have a problem with Kentucky in this. So Kenny Brooks is bringing his team to Thompson Boling. Claire Strack, Tony Morgan. Claire Strack's a star. Tennessee's got Talisha Cooper, Z Spearman. I'm loving to see these two teams match up. And we're going to take a look at it by the numbers. That's how I look at games. I look at it by the numbers. Love watching the games, but I'm a numbers person when it comes to these teams. And okay, that's not always the right way to look at it. Right now, Tennessee is in a three-way tie for number one spot in the conference. It's Vandy, South Carolina, and Tennessee. All three teams are undefeated in SEC play. Now, South Carolina, as of the recording of this, 17-1, Vandy 17-0, and Tennessee is 12-3. So we'll see how this goes. Now, let's get into this game. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics, do a little basketball, and other sports on occasion, but that's what I do, college. Also, General Robert Neyland, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game. but they can also help you if you apply them
Music
correctly to
licensing
your life.
reimagined.
The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it. Now, Kentucky's at 78.2 points per game. 53 points are normally scored against them. They got a 45% field goal percentage. They're doing about 42.6 rebounds a game, 18.2 assists, 7.7 blocks, 6.3 steals. So they've got a pretty good defense. It's not relying on steals. They're just a good team. Now, the leader of this team is Claire Stratt. She's the center. 16.2 points a game, 10.1 rebounds. So she's doing double doubles all the time. 2 assists a game, 1.5 steals, 2.9 blocks, and 1.9 turnovers. A little high, but nothing to really be concerned about. She's 49.2% from field goal range, 70.3% free throw range, and 21.1% beyond the arc. So about 1 in 5 of her shots when she's shooting from the 3-point line or beyond is going in. Tony Morgan, a guard, second leading scorer, 14.4 points a game, 3.7 rebounds a game. She leads in assists, 8.5 assists a game. So, she's doing a point guard work. 1.1 steals, 0.7 blocks, 2.8 turnovers. That's a lot high. 48.1% from field goal range, 77.6 free throw percentage, and 41.7 3-point percentage. Those are good numbers. She's doing what a guard is supposed to do. Keone Keys, forward, 11 points a game, 6.5 rebounds a game, 1.1 assists, 0.9 steals, 1.4 blocks, 1.2 turnovers, not bad numbers, and 54.9 field goal percentage along 70.7 free throw percentage and only 8.3 beyond the arc. So you force this team out. They've got a 31.3% 3-point percentage. You force them out beyond the arc, they're not doing very good. Now, they got a few, Tony Morgan's 41.7%. And they got another couple of players that are at like 35. But you force them out beyond the 3-point, they're having problems. Now, they're a little too focused on Tony Morgan and Claire Stratt. Tony Morgan right now is at 603 minutes played this year. Claire Stratt is at 535 minutes. They're not doing a very good team oriented. They're focusing only on a few players. They don't have a center to back up Claire Stratt. So they're having to throw in a forward for when she needs to sit down for a few. She gets hurt, this team's going to be. I understand. I've already talked about this. It's pain to get players in there. But I would have tried to get another center. The guards are doing okay, but when you're focused on Tony Morgan that much, 603 minutes, you've got your point guard. You need a backup point guard. You should already be working on a backup point guard and letting Tony Morgan sit down some. You're going to get worn out. Your two key players are getting worn out. And Jordan Obi, another guard, 481 minutes. Asia Boone, another guard, 490 minutes. When you're playing players this much, you're going to get worn down. Now, I'm not saying that they're not a good team. I'm just saying, got to think long term. Very good team. Claire Stratt is somebody that, wow, is all I got to say. Wow. And Tony Morgan, wow. These two are doing a lot of work, and they got a few folks backing them up, but not contributing as much. You get up pushing beyond the 3-point arc, you can beat them. So that's where this team's at. Now, for Tennessee Lady Volunteers, my Lady Vols, 81.3 points per game is their average. They're doing a little bit better than Kentucky, but they're allowing 60.5 points a game against them. That's 7.5 points worse than Kentucky. Kentucky's whole got a better defense. 42% field goal percentage. That's a little low, and it's a little bit lower than Kentucky. Rebounds are doing 43.7, so Kentucky and Lady Vols are about the same. 15.1 assists. They need to do a little bit better on that team play. 4.6 blocks. That's not acceptable. You got to get in there better. But they're balancing it by stealing the ball 12.5 times a game. Now, Talisha Cooper, 14.9 points a game. She's leader in points, leader in assists. She's a guard, leader in steals. So 14.9 points a game, 6.1 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 3.4 steals a game, zero point 0.5 blocks, 2.9 turnovers. That's way too high. 44.4% from field goal range, 65.2 free throw percentage, 32.5 3-point percentage. Janiyah Barker, 14.5 points a game. She's a forward, 6.6 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.3 steals, 0.9 blocks. If you're forward, you should be blocking a little bit more. 2.6 turnovers, another little high. They're a little high on the turnover rate. 47.4 field goal percentage, 71.1 free throw percentage, 30.5 3-point percentage. So Tennessee's got the same problem that Kentucky's got, but their folks are a little bit more balanced, and most of their players are about 1 and 3 they're getting in. Z Spearman, who leads in rebounds and blocks, is a forward, 11.5 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, 0.9 assists, 1 steal a game, 1.6 blocks, 2.9 turnovers. Like I said, high turnovers. 40.5 field goal percentage, 56.1 free throw percentage, and 27.6 3-point percentage. Mia Paldo is at 11.4 points, 2.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.4 steals, no blocks, 1.1 turnovers. That's really good. 40.7 field goal percentage, 91.2 free throw percentage, and 33.7 3-point percentage. So they're exceedingly balanced when it comes to game time. Most everybody, or you've got a lot of players in the 300 range, about mid range. One Z Spearman's a little over 384, but they've got a few other players that are over 200. It's a very balanced offense. They're sitting their players down, not having them worn out. That's a good look for Tennessee. They need to be a little bit better when it comes to turnovers. They need to work on their turnovers. Hopefully they're getting worked on. They could probably block a whole lot more. They've got to work on blocks, got to work on turnovers, and 3-point percentage could be a little bit better. Actually, it could be a lot better. And they just need to work on their shooting. That's the biggest thing. But, they're getting some points. They're doing good on points. Rebounds, not bad at all. Assists could be a little bit better. Steals is their big thing. But I would still work on blocks and turnovers right now. Possibly 3-point. I don't think you can really work on 3-point percentages at this point. But blocks and turnovers is where I would say that they're weak at. This game's going to come down to the wire. Or should, more than likely. Kentucky is overplaying a couple of players, but it's still enough time in the season that I don't think they're going to be completely worn out. Clara Strack is a star. Talisha Cooper, Tony Morgan, Z Spearman, all stars. You've got some pro players in the making. Tennessee turning over the ball a little too much. They're not blocking quite enough. Yes, they're getting steals, but still, blocking is still an important part of this game. I'm looking at both these teams. I like Kenny Brooks. I do. I like Kim Caldwell. I really do. Love Kim Caldwell. Like what she did last year. I'm looking at this game, and while yes, I believe Tennessee can win this game, and as a Tennessee fan, I am rooting for them to win this game. I'm looking at this and I'm going, I think that Kentucky, as long as Claire Strack is playing at her potential, this is going to be a Kentucky win. The problem for Kentucky is Claire Strack can't get hurt. Now, I'm recording this a few days early because I'm going down and I'm looking through everything. Claire Strack can't get hurt. She gets hurt, I don't think this team can function that well. Tennessee has got a better balanced approach, and I think that's going to show once you get next month and the month after. I think in the long term, that's a better way of doing everything. I just think that Kentucky's a slightly better team. I think they've got, other than the fact that they haven't got a backup for their center, which is idiotic. Um, I'm looking at this, and I really do think that Kentucky, because it's Kentucky, was able to get more or get a little better when it came to who they're doing. I don't think it's a coaching issue. I think Kenny Brooks and Kim Caldwell are both amazing coaches. I'm just thinking that this is going to be a slugfest. And in all honesty, I think Kentucky's a little bit better prepared for it. Claire Strack is doing what you expect for a center. Tennessee just, yes, they can steal the ball. They're just not getting in the blocks. The turnovers, that the turnover thing is what's getting to me. Um, both these teams need work on fundamentals. End of story. I've got a problem lately. I'm looking at teams, not just Tennessee and Kentucky. I'm looking at teams, and there are so many players that you're looking at their shooting percentage, and you're going, there's all this push to get these highlight reels, but nobody pays attention to mic and drills. Nobody pays attention to somebody just shooting there sitting there on the free throw line and making shots for practice. Nobody's doing what Kobe did. They're all trying to do those highlight reel stuff. And I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking that's probably not a good thing for the sport, but in this, Kentucky is just looks like the better team to me. I hate saying that. I really do. As a Vols fan, I really hate saying that. And I hope Tennessee can win, and they could win. This is not a Tennessee's going to be overpowered. I just think Kentucky's looking a little bit better right now. But that's my thoughts. This is Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, that's my video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And comment. Don't forget that either. Hey, this has been Paul with
Artlist.io.
Redneck Thinker Media. I do sports, I do politics. Hit like, subscribe, and y'all, this has been Paul. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.